Good morning or good afternoon, and thank you for your interest in Action Coach. This is one of several short videos that'll cover how we work with business owners, the kind of people we engage, how we find the marketplace, all those kind of things. And today we're going to talk about the mindset of the owner. I would love to say that when we get there, the owners are fantastic and they want to do unbelievably fantastic. The reality is that once we start working with business owners, they are doing okay and they want to be doing better. And so there's some things that have happened and some things that we want to address around their mindset and the way they think to make sure they're able to make the progress that they need to make. One of the things that we want to help them focus on is where their thoughts are. Now, if you're like me, you run into people all the time that are what we would call below that decision point, because the reality is every day we make decisions constantly, and business owners are no different. And every day, business owners are going to run into speed bumps when it comes to how they run their company, the interaction with customers, and the interaction with their team. And so they have a choice. They can either go into that victim mindset where they're blaming the environment, they're blaming the competitors, they're blaming the workforce. They may be making up a litany of excuses as to why they're not having the success that they want to have. Or for the ones that I think and I've always thought are in real trouble, they're in flat out denial, thinking that by doing the same things, they're going to get different results. And the challenge with this mindset is that we can talk about strategy and tactics all day, and very little of it will get implemented and stick for the long term. Where they need to be is taking ownership for the results, they're accountable for their actions, and they're responsible for the things that happen in their business and personal life. That's where progress can be made. Now, the reality is that I run into people that are, in that lower victim mindset all the time. And if I'm honest with myself, that person can be me in a lot of cases. I'm able to have a pity party with the best of them. But what I'm very good at is getting over it. And so we have to give our clients the tools to get through it as well. And so just to give you some examples for me, I believe one of the things I like to do is listen to the song Beautiful Day by U2. Now I'm 49 years old. I believe U2 needs to be played very loud. So 4 minutes and 2 seconds later, I'm ready to go. If that doesn't work, I'll go for a little walk from our office park, get a little exercise, a little fresh air, and usually I'm back on my game. And if that doesn't work, I'll jump on an elliptical for half an hour, get in a better workout, and really get myself centered to go out and re-engage the marketplace. What I don't do is get on eBay. I don't get on Facebook looking for people that I haven't seen for years and will probably never see again. And I don't go home and cut the grass. In other words, I don't waste the rest of my day, which is the only asset that I can't get back. And so when we work with our business owners, we need to give them specific tools they can use to get back in the game. When we engage with clients, one of the things we like to work on is a formula for change. Now, when you speak with a business owner, and not only during that courtship before they become a client and as they become a client, but longer term as they're going through the coaching process, one of the things there has to be is a dissatisfaction. So there's something about the business that they don't like. Typically that revolves around not making enough money, oftentimes working too many hours, or perhaps someone on the team that's driving them crazy. Or maybe it's a combination of all three. But if all we do is focus on dissatisfaction, we're really just making them feel bad. So we have to couple that with the vision of where they wanted to go. And oftentimes this means bringing them back to the vision they had when they started the business. When they were in the kitchen, writing the business plan on the kitchen table to convince their spouse that this was going to be a great idea. So by recasting the vision and reconnecting them with it, we help to reignite the love affair they have for the business. And then the U stands for urgency. Because if there's no urgency, it's easy to stay where you are. And so it's the dissatisfaction times the vision times an element of urgency, which gets people moving. Now add to that the first steps. And for us, the first steps are simply what program makes the most sense for them from a financial investment and also from a time investment. And that's why it's important to have multiple price points in the market so people can jump in where it fits. And then as they get more success, increase their participation. And all those things have to be greater than the resistance that they have to change. Resistance to change is a normal emotion in people. And for some owners, even though they're not happy, even though they are struggling, this is their new normal, and so they're comfortable there now. And we have to be able to move them off this comfort level to get them to take action. One of the things that we work with very much with companies is their culture. Now, most of them have a vision, and most of them have a mission. They probably wrote it when they started the company and really haven't taken it out of the drawer in quite some time. But one of the things that most business owners don't do is define the culture of the company. Now, don't get me wrong, every company has a culture. The question becomes, did the owner define it, or did it happen organically? And what will happen over time is that the culture becomes the fabric that holds the business together. And by that I mean, as the business grows, it's going to be near impossible for the owner to be able to manage every relationship between the people on the team. That's what the culture is for. We'll use the culture as the backdrop for making decisions. We'll use the culture as the backdrop for hiring people, for bringing on suppliers and vendors, and in some cases to make sure that customers are good fits for us. So while vision and mission are typical and are important, we find that culture, hiring the right person and then training them on the skill is way more important than hiring the skill and trying to train them on the culture.